Imagine being stranded on a deserted island with your stunning stepmother. Sounds like the setup for an intense sussy survival story, right? Well, that's exactly what happens in this manhwa, where a son and his stepmom are forced to fight for survival, and the boy must level up things with his stepmother in order to escape. So let's dive into this thrilling and steamy survival saga. The main character's story starts on a very emotional and heartbreaking day, as he was mourning the recent death of his mother. At that time he was just 10. Chang Jai already realized that his father wasn't a good man, because while Chang Jai was still grieving, his father wasted no time in finding a new wife, someone half his age. She was kind with a warmth in her touch, and a youthful beauty that helped with the pain Chang Jai was enduring. From the moment she stepped into the home, Chang Ji's stepmother treated him as if he were her own child. Chang Ji wasn't some tough guy. He was just a kid who had often felt overlooked and starved for affection. During those vulnerable moments, his stepmother always came to his rescue and pampering him
with toys and sweets to lift his spirits.
Chang Ji never enjoyed taking baths, but his stepmother always helped him take his bath, taking care like a sweet nanny. Whenever he got bullied,
he got his stepmom to break things up
before any serious trouble could escalate. There is a time skip of 10 years. Chang Ji is now a young man, laying on the couch minding his own business, when a sudden phone call interrupts his routine. He's asked to meet someone at the station. He grudgingly gets up ready to leave, but just as he's about to head out, strange noises catch his attention from a nearby room. Curious, he checks it out and finds his stepmother struggling to carry a heavy bucket of water. As she tried to tidy up the place, the stepmother strained with the bucket. Some water splashed onto her, and Chang Ji couldn't just stand by. He rushed to help her, making quick work of the task she was struggling with. Concerned, he thought to himself that if she kept carrying such heavy loads, her back would surely start to hurt. He couldn't bear the thought of her suffering. Despite anything else caught Chang Ji's attention, two big melons completely covered with syrup bothered the guy, so he asked to hide them back in the freezer as soon as possible. Flustered, his stepmother nervously told him not to focus on them. Chang Ji remembered why he'd gotten up in the first place. He casually warned her that he wouldn't be gone long, so she could wear whatever was comfortable. While he was out, he made a conscious effort to avoid thinking about his stepmom's melon, keeping his focus on where he needed to be. In order to cope with his desire for adventure, he met up with his girlfriend, and they went to a hotel. The girl was quite popular at their institute. She met the main character thanks to their mutual friends, and they eventually started dating. Their dinner had been going on for a while. The sausage was so hot that the girl had to blow on it for quite some time before she was fully satisfied. Even though the guy was in the company of such a beautiful lady, his thoughts were still focused on his stepmother. The attentive girlfriend quickly noticed that Chang Ji was distracted and decided to ask what was bothering him. But instead of answering, the guy offered to flip the hot dog bun. The girl, being a good cook herself, insisted that the bun should be held vertically so the sauce wouldn't leak, making it easier to play with the sausage correctly. Mi tried her best to please the guy with her skills, but all of Chang Ji's thoughts kept revolving around the time he had spent with his beloved stepmother. He was so preoccupied with this that he shared his feelings with the girl. After finishing cooking, the girl decided to leave the kitchen, realizing that the guy had been thinking about someone else the entire time. She was deeply hurt and said she didn't want to see him again. Their breakup was quick, but later it became clear that it might have been for the best. Struggling with his emotions and desires, Chang Ji decided to join the army. His stepmother asked him to return unharmed, but the girl's parting words weighed heavily on him. Nevertheless, Chang Ji resolved to endure whatever trials lay ahead. Chang Ji rose to the rank of corporal, and a new recruit, Private Sung Pil, was assigned to him. Sung Pil was curious about what the senior officer was thinking, but Chang Ji answered without hesitation that his thoughts were with his family, despite his deep love for his family. However, Chang Ji didn't share Sung Pil's admiration for his sister. Pil adored his sister so much that he showed her photo to everyone he met. Sung Pil even reasoned that he wouldn't mind if Chang Ji married his sister, since that would make them family. Yet Chang Ji managed to calm the overexcited Sung Pil. Nevertheless, Pil handed a photo card to the Chang Ji, showing off his sister, who was undeniably a beauty. As fate would have it, Chang Ji had recently met the girl in the photo. Her name was Han Sun-yi, and she had been looking for a store that sold military clothes and supplies. The moment Chang Ji noticed her, he immediately called out to her. She was shocked when Chang Ji knew her name. Her personality revealed itself right away. He couldn't have predicted that she tried to bite his hand in frustration, Chonji calmly explained that he was a senior officer of her brother Seung-pil, but she was still worrying about how he had learned her name. Before the situation could escalate further, her brother suddenly ran up to them. Back in the present, Chong-jae was jolted from his memories by something strange. He had initially thought the Seung-pil was about to show off another photo of his sister, but instead, the guy pointed toward a bizarre glow. In the distance, the eerie light came from seemingly nowhere, and it unnerved them both. It was nighttime, yet the glow wasn't from the moon. It radiated from something far more mysterious and unexplainable with white eyes. They started speculating, could it be a UFO? However, the immediate priority was to notify their colleagues about the emergency. Chong-ji rushed into the small building next to their post and reached for the phone. Meanwhile, the till remained outside. His eyes locked was on the mysterious glow. Just as Chong-ji attempted to make the call, a sudden and powerful electric discharge like a bolt of Zeus's wrath struck him and knocking him unconscious. Chong-ji finally started to regain consciousness after his stepmother had made several attempts to wake him. He was so confused, they had no idea how they ended up in a cave. It was very strange to Chong-ji as his equipment had vanished, though he was still wearing his clothes and rifle, but armor jacket were nowhere to be found, as if they had simply evaporated. Mind raised with possibilities, and his first thought was that they had been kidnapped. Before he could continue thinking, his stepmother interrupted, visibly shaken. She explained that before waking up in this strange place, she had been lying comfortably on her bed watching TV. Unlike Chong-ji, she was dressed casually and lightly. Chong-ji, trying to process the situation, couldn't help but notice her stepmother's loosely dress. His eyes couldn't resist, looked at the grates nearby, perhaps out of stress or simple distraction. Suddenly a notification came to Chong-ji's phone that they had been awarded points for peeping in her partner's undies. That makes stepmother very embarrassed, so she hurried to strengthen the protection of her garrison. As Chong-ji's stepmother looked around the cave, his attention shifted to a strange treasure nearby. Before he could make sense of it, his phone chimed with a nasty sound, informing him that he had gained several points for his recent sussy actions. Frustrated and embarrassed, Chong-ji impulsively threw his phone away using the strength he built up during his time in the army. Since throw was perfect, but to his surprise, the device remained intact. Moments later, a new alert popped up on the screen, stating that the phone couldn't be destroyed or discarded, and the phone was now back in his pocket, as if it had never been thrown. Confused, Chong-ji struggled to make sense of the situation. One thing was clear: the phone seemed to react to the various funny actions he performed. Despite all of this, his stepmother remained silent. Chong-jae was overjoyed, feeling as though a long-held dream had finally come true, but his stepmother confidently said that he shouldn't get too distracted by the hills and pumpkins around them, as he was a good obedient son. Then Chong-ji thought that he should check his previous notifications. There he found out very important information about this strange place, that it is some sort of fantasy meta island, and they are the beta testers. Then a screen pop up and there was a full personal information of Chong-ji. Also, there was a point system from which he could purchase necessary items to survive till escape, and the testers are allowed to commit all sort of crime, including sussy and nasty stuff. One thing got him surprised: that although it is a virtual reality, if the testers die in here, then will die in real life too. And after knowing all these information, he could finally make sense of what the strange notification was all about. Then suddenly Chong-ji realized that there must be other survivors, and they might attack them for his big musk lemonade stepmother, and he has to fight for his life against others in order to safely escape with his stepmother.
That's all for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. And please hit that subscribe button for part 2. It really helps keep us motivated to bring you more exciting manhwa content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.